Yes. Hello. How do I sound?
I can hear you.
Mike checking.
Hello, everybody. I'm Starns, sports editor of the Cougar. I'm your temporary host right now as Ryan from GoCoogs goes to media availability to speak with Kelvin Sampson after the Cougars get a massive road win.
Hey, hold on, Ryan. Ryan, it's a little loud over there, Ryan.
It's a little loud. You may want to mute yourself.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Cougars get a massive Big 12 road win against BYU. First Big 12 road win in program history. It is a big one against what I think coming in, many people thought was, I myself included, was a tough matchup stylistically for this Cougars team to overcome, especially on the road. But let me pull up some stats real quick. 23 points from LJ Cryer. He is out of that slump, evidently. Massive, some big plays from Jamal Shead down the stretch. Big free throw by Jawan Roberts. And BYU also sort of ran out of shooting. They just, I want to say they missed their last three,
four. You live by the three, you die by the three, man.
They lived by it and they died by it.
Yeah. I thought that like UCF, BYU, they had great positional size, but with their size were shooters. You know, they had a 6'11", forget the guy who was questionable to play, but 6'11" guy, you know, pulling up shooting threes. And, you know, I don't think people understand how hard it is to play at a school like BYU. This is definitely a harder place to win at than Iowa State or TCU, in my opinion. Just because of the factors with the elevation. But I think that us losing those games helped us win this one. Now you sprinkle in the altitude, their style of play. They get out. They play really actually a fun brand of basketball. They get out and run, shoot the three. They can hurt you from the inside and out. So it's like it's a very difficult team to defend. And on top of that, you would put you add their positional size. So which I thought would be a factor, and it was. But I was glad our guys were able to sit together, even though they made runs and kind of manufacture a tough road win.
What was your main takeaway from this game?
It was a big time gut check win. That game had all the makings of an epic collapse. We were up by 13 at one point, and then I think we went like 3 or 4 or 15 or 16. We were just the lid was on, and we weren't missing bad shots. We were missing good shots that we normally make.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
Did U of H ever trail in that last 10 or 15 minutes? Did they ever trail in the second half?
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't.
They tied. I know, but I didn't know if they ever got ahead. Okay, go ahead.
But right as that was it looked like, and I texted Monso that, man, I can't watch the end of this shit. Because I mean, I could just inside. I'm like, how are we going to blow this game? How can you blow a 13-point lead like this? But then they stepped up. They made defensive stops when they needed to. They got rebounds when they needed to, and they hit big money free throws, which they've been missing free throws up until then.
Well, when Emmanuel missed the front end of that 1-and-1, you had to just be thinking, oh shit, here it goes.
Yeah,
but they came together at the end. I'm going to duck out now, so y'all have some fun. I'll be back later.
I don't think at any point in time that I was really actually ever worried that we were going to lose. Just because I feel like we've learned obviously from the two losses that we've had on the road early on. But one thing Coach Samp, he always told me he was a fan of away games because it was easier to coach us because we were away from everything that we like to do. It's just us in our own bubble.
Right.
There's no we're not in our hometown. We're all secluded. We're all depending on each other, and we're all just locked in. And I feel like I like our team on the road, win, lose, or draw, because I know the attention to detail and the level of focus that our guys have. And like I said, I feel like that's what helped us come out with a tough road win tonight in a very difficult atmosphere to play in.
Yeah, this is probably, I think,
tough.
Tip to buzzer, probably maybe the best played game U of H has played all year.
Tough, man.
I mean, they got up 13. They made those runs. They let them come in, but I feel like against a team like BYU that shoots it like that, those types of teams, they're just able to make.
Yeah, they're never out of the fight just because of their ability to catch fire and how many guys they have that can make threes outside of the arc, whether it's 1 through 4, 1 through 5, whatever. But those type of, it's kind of like, I don't want to kind of hype them up, but it's kind of like the Warriors. They get down 10, it's like shit. That's 3 possessions and they back in it, So it's with teams like that, it's always dangerous because you never know when they can catch fire, and when they do, it's infectious.
Yeah, right. And you could tell that those runs didn't rattle them like it had, I think, in the previous few games on the road. They just they stuck to it. They played good defense. They did what they needed to do, and you could just tell they were on a nice flat line emotionally with their poise, and that's what sort of kept them going. It wasn't like the Texas A&M game where the offense just stopped or things like that. And
I like to think that we probably didn't have enough energy and enough oxygen to even look rattled, because that requires effort, and that altitude, man, it is a beast. It is. I don't think our guys usually our guys flex and do after a big play, it's like shit out there. It's like, okay, cool, we gotta stop. Let's get it. It's like
no energy for that.
No energy for that. We got to conserve. We got Jawan ain't do his lip. He didn't do his.
He did do one.
He did one. He did one.
I think he did one early in the game, but none after that.
That one he did in the second half at the end. No, it was we ain't got time we ain't got energy to celebrate, brother. No, sir.
Galen, I got a question for you. What is a game like this, stepping up and showing that you can close it out? What does it do for your confidence going forward?
It's a tremendous confidence booster because we've had guys that have been needing to play well and step up. And the guys like Malik, he hit a big time 3 in the first half, and he's been stringing together good games, which in turn built his confidence for this one, for him to take that shot. And weirdly enough, I seen that they had posted a shoot around clip on our Instagram page, the UH basketball Instagram page, and it showed Damian Dunn making a 3, and I remember thinking this is gonna be a game where he does something good for us. I remember thinking that in my mind, just by how I saw the ball go in and their guys having to guard a guy like him, and I thought it was a tremendous game for him, a tremendous confidence booster for him to have success in an atmosphere like that.
Yeah.
After you've been struggling for a pretty long time, I'm sure his best games are ahead of him. So I think it was a tremendous group effort, and even switching on the ball and Javier having to guard guys that are on the perimeter and actually holding his own. He wasn't really making bad defensive breakdowns. Granted, they were able to kind of get around him a little bit because of his length and athleticism. He was able to kind of meet him at the rim. I think in the first half, he got a block off the glass. I was really impressed with him and how he was able to move his feet. I just thought our guys did a great job of just stepping up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Just meeting the moment.
Yeah, if you beat JVA off the dribble, you better get
dunk
a
it.
lot of
you better
get a lot of separation, because he's going to catch you on the backside.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and I thought our ability to execute ATOs. I thought our ability to just to make timely shots down the stretch when it seemed like we kind of always kept them at arm's bay. LJ, he hit some timely shots, and it's just like whenever, like that's what we're used to him doing. We saw him do that plenty of years at Baylor, and to have that on our side, that weapon, and have his confidence back where it needs to be, man, that is tremendous for us going forward.
Yeah. The one note I wrote down in the first half was on Damian Dunn is he got when he hit his first three to start off the game, I guess around the 14-minute mark. Thing I wrote down was shot the ball in the flow of the game, and he's not passing up good looks.
Exactly. And I so thought that
normally he's been hesitating when he gets the ball, and he's looking to pass, but this time he knows he's open, and he just catches it and shoots it in the flow. No thought, just let it rip.
And he wasn't trying to. I remember texting Coach Kellen after the game. It was like he wasn't trying to I feel like last game he was trying to draw fouls, and it's just like, just go out there and hoop. And I thought today he was just pulling. He wasn't trying to draw fouls, and he ironically got fouled. Right. Just like you don't have to hunt for it. It's just like whenever you make a couple shots, guys are already on edge because they know the pedigree of player that he is. But it's extremely hard to win on the road. I think early I think it was the second half, Emmanuel had fouled one of the shooters on the left wing. Yeah, and the guy was at the free throw line, and he was like, I wrote it down. He was like, Emmanuel. He was like, that's why it's hard to win on the road. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's so many things that you can't do on the road that gives the other team momentum that, if you do it at home, it might not be the same effect because the crowd, but it's like you follow a 3-point shooter on the road, sprinkle in, it's probably close to a sold-out arena, elevation. They play a fun brand of basketball there. It's a battle of two top 25 ranked teams first year in the Big 12. It's all that is sprinkled into it. And it's like it's hard you can't make those type of mistakes.
Yeah. Right. And there was a lineup that I think brought the lead to maybe 11 or 13. I don't know, it may have been 13, but it was Malik Wilson, Damian, LJ, JoJo, and Jawan. And those minutes without Jamal out there to be able to, not usually I feel like you want to at least just stay even or close to it, but to extend the lead there, I mean, I thought Malik Wilson played a huge minutes. I thought Damian played huge minutes, and I think that was what was missing in those first two road games. You'd see Ramon and Malik come in for a little bit, but then they wouldn't play in the second half. Yeah, and now they brought him back, and it was very, very helpful.
And also those games, those early on, let's say like for example with Malik, he didn't have much success, and he didn't have the confidence to do certain things. But you drop those two, and then you follow that up with a couple of home games where you have success. You're feeling good about yourself. And that last game that they played at home, he made a bunch of culture plays, a couple of things that I'm sure that Coach Sampson showed on film that our program emphasizes. So it makes you feel good about yourself, and it makes you think that, like, you know what, like I can help this team, and it's just we just need Malik just to be solid, and I felt like he did a good job of doing that tonight. Any offense that you get from him is a bonus because you know that he's going to play with energy. And I was just glad that Dame was able to see a couple go through the net. I know that's a tremendous confidence booster for a guy like him who's used to seeing the ball go through the net. I know it's been a difficult adjustment with his role being changed and altered and whatnot, but I really do think that this game is going to help him and our team be able to. I feel like it's going to help his offensive output going forward.
Yeah. Let's look at some comments real quick. Dave Wheat.
Hold on, wait. Before we look at how about that commentator?
Oh my God! I didn't want to say. I shouldn't say anything, but
hey, Starns, I don't think I've ever heard a more like. Oh my gosh! I'm like, damn, brother, did you? Are you a BYU alum? Shit, like what? Can we get something?
Well, we get their home broadcast. Like when people play us and we're on ESPN Plus, they get the Reed Geddes feed too. So it's definitely you're going to get the homer. You're going to get the homer.
I was like, oh my goodness, like this is ridiculous. But like I said,
Right.
I can't say what I want to say, but I'm glad we won. Glad we won.
Yeah. But Dave Wheat says, super proud of our guys after the 2 turnovers in a row. Grabbed control on offense, defense, rebounded their misses, and made free throws. Free throws were just huge. And I mean, the rebounding was. Let's look at the rebounding.
We out rebounded them by, I think, like it was like we out rebounded them, yeah, and we had less
41
turnovers.
to 34. Yeah.
You know, they spent a lot of time talking about what our players who are gone cold, that they need to be able to do something. They need to do something else to be able to contribute to winning. And I look at Emmanuel Sharp's line, and I'm like, 1 for 6, 0 for 2 on 3, but he had 9 rebounds. And out of those 9, he had 4 on the offensive end. Huge, huge game. He was contributing, wasn't scoring like crazy, still didn't shoot as great as he normally does, but he has really added a lot more to his game than just scoring. Like
Absolutely.
last year he was just a straight up spot up shooter, and he was ready to get back on defense when the ball went up. Now he's getting back in attacking the glass and going after rebounds and doing a good job of it. I thought he did a really good job of getting into the paint early and freeing up a little bit more for the outside for other people, helping create. So
it's crazy how like coaches in this sport, coaches is a wizard, man. Like he always used to emphasize, like, if your offensive flow isn't flowing, get lost in another aspect of the game. Talk a little more on defense, be in a little more help. And, it's crazy how, like, we had a game a couple of days ago, and one of our guys who's a scorer, obviously we all know that E-Man can get buckets, right? Like that's without question. But, like, I have a teammate just like him, and him not scoring was kind of bothering him. He's young in terms of being a professional. And I was just like, hey, bro, like, your ball isn't falling. Talk a little more on defense. Play a little better defense. And, just get lost in everything else other than score. And then turns out after I told him that, he ends up having, like, a bounce-back game. And it's just crazy when you give your attention to things that you can control, how the things that you can't control, they tend to go in your favor. And, I think Coach Sampson, he does a good job of emphasizing that. And I know for a fact that when LJ was going through his slump, he was trying to get him to understand that, hey, get lost in other aspects of the game, and that will help you get back to, who you are.
Right.
He said after the Texas Tech game that he told LJ to just focus on defense, and he had a decent game, and then UCF game, it seemed like he had finally gotten out of the slump, and then today he has maybe his best game as a Cougar. 44% from the 3 on the road. I'm going to look at what it was in the first half. The clip that the game was going in the first half, it almost, we hadn't seen it from a U of H game this year. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. After halftime, did you guys think, okay, this game is going to have to slow down? And did you think U of H was going to be able to keep shooting at that clip? They were 50% from 3 in the first half. 6 to 12.
I think naturally, like the first half, we're going away from coach, so it's less controlled, it's more free flowing, and when you're in an environment like that, and in the second half we're going to our side, you kind of want to let him control things. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I thought our best offense tonight was us getting our missed shots, because, we're missing shots, getting the offensive rebound. Their guys are crashing the glass, and it's freeing up our shooters. I feel like LJ got several open looks off of offensive rebounds, and those plays were just back-breaking plays for BYU. You can hear it in the arena, like the groan whenever LJ made one of those. It's like and those are truly momentum killers, and it kept their crowd. It kind of kept their crowd, even though they were still rowdy. It kind of kept them like at bay because they were real timely,
Right.
Yeah, 15 second chance points off 15 offensive rebounds. I believe the points off turnover margin. Yeah, points off turnover margin was 17
to like
to
3
7.
or something.
It was 3 at one point. It ended up being 7, but another big thing. Here's a comment real quick. Jamie Hollingsworth, who does great work for GoCoogs, said that was Roxy Birdstein and Coach K's son-in-law. They were national game guys.
Wow.
So there's your.
How you hating on the original Cougs, brother? We the ones. We are the ones. We are those, man. Coach K's son-in-law. That's crazy. So that was him who was hating.
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting. You know, if I was someone else, I send them a nicely worded message on social media.
Great point.
Let them know. Let them know.
Great point. I mean, which one? I feel like I made several.
Always deliberate.
Another thing I felt, here's this comment about JoJo's impact. He's had, I think, a play in each of these games where his wingspan has let him do some crazy things. Yeah. He had a save against Texas Tech. He had he snatched a ball. He just like stabbed a ball out of the sky that was going to go into the student section against UCF. And then today he had another tip on a
fast break dunk.
Yeah. And then he had that coast to coast. You could just see it. It's really slowly coming together. He's still not great.
Slowly. I feel like once he has a full grasp on who he is, that's when he'll take off.
Yeah.
But I feel like his just kind of reckless activity and it's almost like naive. It's like it almost seems like he's accidentally getting deflections. It's like he's not even trying to help us and he's just helping us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just getting his hand on 50-50 rocks. But you know, I'm excited to see his development because I know obviously you see the stuff that Ryan posts about those guys working getting their kind of after hours work in. But in our locker room we used to have this it was like a little case, like a clear case, and it had like a rock and like a hammer on it. And it's Coach Sampson. It's his way of conveying the message of compound interest. And it's like and it said it was like I forget how he described the guy, but he was like, whatever hammers away at a rock 100 times without much of a crack showing on the rock. But on the 101st blow, the rock split in two. And it wasn't the 101st blow that broke it. It was all those that went before it. So it's just like eventually Coach Sampson has convinced me that if you work at something long enough and with intent and focus, eventually whatever you're working towards, you're going to break through. And I feel like that's going to happen with JoJo. He's putting in all this work and, him and Coach Kellen. And I just feel like there's going to get to a point where he just has his breakthrough with his offensive game, and his offensive game is going to take off.
Yeah, I think he's able to. The last two games, he's able to stay out of foul trouble early when he comes in, so he's able to go and have productive minutes later in the game, which are going to be dramatically more important as the season goes on. And J1's knee, J1's knee is going to be an issue all year. That's just something we're going to have to deal with. But with him being able to get quality minutes in the second half without having to worry about foul trouble, I think that frees him up to do a lot of things.
Yeah, be a little more reckless.
Well, and like you said, you've got to keep at it. And the first step in doing that is keeping your ability to stay on the floor. So he's getting that in check. And you never want him to drop his energy level too much. You just want him to play a little bit more wise and know when to overextend and when to kind of control yourself and reel it back in and not get that, that silly foul of reaching in or going over the back.
And the crazy thing is like he's still learning who he is and, how he might impact the game. But I feel like his arms and his presence is like, especially his arm span is huge. So it's like by that having that type of weapon, you don't have to pressure the ball as closely because you know that if the person you guard is to rise up and shoot, your contest is going to bother them if you're standing on the ground because your arms are so long. So It's kind of like just kind of working smarter, not harder, and that's something that he's going to learn more as he continues to grow and get older.
Right.
Hello, Ryan.
Welcome back.
Well, yeah, man. He on the late bus.
Not the late bus. That's not it.
Absolutely.
I'm
Hold on. Let's take a
The
pause
late
and
show.
listen to that silence in the arena. That's beautiful.
I've been here since 3:30 this morning. Damn it! I am not on the late bus. I have experienced quite a bit. Oh, there they are. I knew there were black people here.
Crazy.
We'll be right back after this. Yeah. I'm not going to make any friends, but I mean, it was a Where's Waldo situation for a long while, but there they are. What have y'all talked about? Anything good?
Nothing but
Yeah,
good
a lot of
stuff,
great
brother.
stuff.
Nothing but good stuff, man.
Okay, that's
But
cool.
good stuff.
We were just talking about JoJo and some of the things he did today.
His reckless activity and how, in some ways, is just beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, as a defense, especially a soft defense, you can't plan for him. You just can't replicate that. And he's dangerous. Sorry for talking too much. I know we have Galen on the show. I don't want some of our watchers to be angry about all the other people that are talking.
I think an interesting thing was U of H shot way more free throws, and I mean
something like I just tweeted it. I don't remember 10 or 14.
Yeah,
14 more.
Yeah, and I definitely think I don't know if it was a refs thing. I'm sure has to be some part of it, but I can imagine there was an emphasis the last 2 days.
You shoot that many 3-pointers, you're not going to get a lot of calls, you know?
No.
Yeah.
And there was definitely an emphasis on not fouling the 3-point shooter, which Emmanuel Sharp did, but that was
just one
time.
They've been getting a lot of shots off of that.
You know, Coach, he emphasized, I'm sure he still does, the keys to winning on the road, which is rebound, make shots, and take care of the ball. And anytime you can have less than 10 turnovers as a team on the road, that's going to help your team. That's going to help their odds, in winning the game. And another thing that I saw was like one of our trainers, he's an Iowa State guy, and he was telling me that like there's an interesting stat that for some reason, like all the ones that like they keep stats up, we're like our school is good at. And it was like usually like 97% of games, the first team that gets to 69 or 70 points, they usually win. And I'm like, we were able to get to that, and obviously we won. But it's just like that. I thought that was like a real interesting, kind of metric.
Well, BYU did not get the 69 points, so that was probably the reason.
Yeah, but I'm saying like by us getting there first, I'm like, yeah, we got this one in the bag for sure.
Yeah. So the U of H team and coaches and stuff are kind of soaking it in. They had done this on the other road games, but they're talking with people. Dave Rose, former Phi Slamma Jamma member and former BYU coach, and Kelvin were talking. Yeah.
They had Jimmer Fredette in there.
Jimmer was here.
I'm damn, y'all got Jimmer? That's crazy. Jimmer was that dude. Jimmer was that guy.
I thought he was so cool. I think I was
I thought he was gnarly. That dude, bro. Anytime Lil Wayne mentions you in a song and you're in college, yeah, brother, you made it. And you a white dude? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got him and Larry Bird, and that's pretty much it.
And Johnny Manziel. Shout out to Drake, but yeah.
Well, I don't know how he's a basketball player.
I mean,
So Kelvin, after the game, was kind of in a good mood. Talked about resilience, making free throws down the stretch, except for Emmanuel Sharp, go figure. He really focused on the unscripted points, the turnovers, the second chance points, and the fast breaks. U of H killed him in that. U of H had 10 or 14 more free throw attempts. He kind of gave Malik Wilson a little bit of the business with Malik making a three-pointer. I don't think I've ever seen Malik make a three-pointer in a game. Maybe he has, but I haven't seen it.
We talked about that.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm just saying, like, it was just he's had a couple of good home games, which is in turn like built his confidence. I'm sure he's done a lot of things that have shown up on like the positive film. So him being able to make a shot like that and have the confidence to take a shot like that, that's probably based on what he's been doing and the good headspace that he's been in. But I was glad that he was. I mean, you didn't hear this, Ron, but I was glad that he was able to give us good spot minutes, and I was glad that I'm sure we all were that Damian Dunn was able to see not one but 2 3-point shots go in. That's going to be used for us going forward.
Did y'all talk about Damian's defense? I thought he guarded the 3-point line really well. He was all over there, guys.
Yeah.
The way this game started out, it was so well. Kelvin talked about that after the game that they, the 6'11" kid Khalifa made 2 early. He went off the backboard for 1. They made 1 damn near the half court with like 15 seconds left on the shot clock. I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't the desperation. They had 15 seconds, and so what can you do? But U of H shut that down, and BYU struggled from 3-point. They were 25% in the second half, about 30% for the game.
They took Khalifa really kind of out of the game. They had to put in that number 45. That other, I wouldn't be able to pronounce his name right now.
No, I practiced it and it didn't. I still didn't.
You're talking about the black dude, right?
Traore.
Yeah,
Traore. Yeah. He was solid though. He was solid.
Yeah,
he was their best offense, I think.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah,
kind of to end the game.
Inside the definitely. I
thought
he was really solid for them.
I'm glad they didn't
was
play
their
him the
starter. Well, he was their starter to start the year, and he got injured in late November, and so they kind of reoriented the offense around this 5-out, everybody outside the 3-point line weirdness. But when they have it working, it's beautiful.
I just feel like he was just looking to score. Like the other kid, whatever his name, he's kind of looking to facilitate, and he was holding the ball over his head trying to. And it's just like Traore, he was just trying to get to a bucket, and he knew he had an undersized guy on him, so he wasn't wasting no time trying to be pretty. He was trying to get to the money, and I thought he played well.
Khalifa played well when he had big guys guarding him, but when Jamal and Malik were guarding him, Damian Dunn too, he struggled. I think he had 4 of his 5 turnovers against guards. But I know Jamal turned him over early and kind of set the tone for U of H's defense.
That's probably the
how solid is Jamal, man? I know that's the norm and we're used to him being solid, but it's just like to have something like that's just certain. That is truly a blessing that we have in our program. Just to have somebody that we know what they're going to bring night in and night out. That is truly something to cherish, man. It hats off to him for being locked in, playing like a leader, being a senior, and keeping our guys together. I know that whenever they made their run, I know he probably had some encouraging words for our guys because he's kind of seen it all, done it all. But it's just hats off to him for being solid and taking control of our program.
I told our subscribers this tonight, but Jamal is on a fast track to the Hall of Honor at U of H, and that guy completely deserves it. Galen, you're going to get there too. I am going to introduce you, not Kelvin, me. I'm going to introduce you at the Hall of Honor when you get inducted. That's my goal over the next few years is to get that done. Have y'all looked at any comments? They are great. Okay.
Yes. There was one that is this the best road win in the Calvin Sampson era?
Don't say that, brother.
That's a big one.
We had some good ones.
10 years.
I don't know. Didn't we have a good one at Oregon?
Oregon's a good win.
Oregon.
Good win at Wichita State. Back when they were going big.
I wouldn't
at Cincy when they were Yeah, we've been had
Cincinnati is what I would say. Is that Cincinnati?
That was
Those
some
teams
impressive.
were really good.
Well, we've
But I mean,
spent about 10 years getting killed by Cincinnati too.
No, you spent 20 years getting killed by Cincinnati. The record was something like 29-1 against U of H before Kelvin came in.
Mhm.
And it was a weird, maybe an Alvin Brooks win, something, I mean, like way off the wall.
Yeah.
The Virginia
This is
one last
definitely
year.
a good one though. This is definitely
It's a great
road
win.
that because of BYU isn't perceived as a blue blood that people might overlook, but you look at their style of play, top 25 team, they play a very fun brand of basketball, and obviously you add in the altitude with their support in their student section and that environment. That is a very, very big win, and that'll be a very tough place to play for any team in America. And it will be no surprise to me if that team is a Sweet 16 team in March.
If you're
NCAA
sitting there
tournament.
watching the selection show and you see BYU pop up against you, you're saying, "Oh shit, this is not
Especially
what
if
I'm prepared to do in
this
3 days."
It's like, damn, this is our season, fellas. It might be over.
They're one of those. They're one of those 8 or 9 seeds that bust brackets on.
Hell
on
no,
game
hell,
two.
not 8 or 9.
I think they're a 5 or 6.
5 or 6, 5 or 6. But I mean, depending on how conference play plays out and teams find their stride, who knows if they might finish up. But for sure, that'll be a team that is capable, and it wouldn't be a surprise to us if they were to be a second weekend team for sure.
Nope. I mean, they'll get a favorable draw, probably be out west.
And they played majority of the game without one of their key starters, which obviously would affect any team. So it's like, yeah, those guys, that's a good ball club over there.
What is happening? BYU left 2 guys in the game in the first half with 3 fouls.
That's crazy.
And that was I just was like, what are you doing? And then the Dallin Hall kid got his 4th early in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it pretty much took him completely out of it. He ended up playing 30-something minutes, but
that's just respect and trust. You respect your opponent, and you need your best guys, your best troops to get it done. And that's just believing in your players. Like, you know what, you got 3 fouls. I'm going to trust you that you don't get another one. And it just sometimes as a coach, when you're in that situation, you just got to roll the dice. And obviously that coach, you knew what was at stake. You got a top 5 team coming into your home gym. You need all your top guys on board. You need those top guys on the floor.
Maybe. But U of H ended the game, I think, on a 7-0 run in the last minute. It was 68-68. And you thought all the momentum had left. But U of H won it and didn't make a field goal for the last 4 minutes. All at the line, which is exactly how you thought this was going to go coming into the night, as you were going to win this game at the line.
And Trevin Nell, who ended up fouling out, was one of those guys with 3 fouls. He had a wide open shot. I think down 1 to take the lead.
Yeah.
And he just missed it. And then
I just knew he was going to miss for whatever reason. I was like, yeah, this is off. I just had a feeling he was going to miss. Like but he did a great job. He's definitely a super sniper, but I just have a gut feeling that that one, you ain't gonna cash that one out.
What can I say? BYU shoots the ball well at home. Man, you thought early in this game they were going to make 30 3-pointers. It just felt like it was not going to end. But
if your second shot of the game is a bullet off the backboard from 25, it's like
from a 6'11" guy.
Yeah.
The guy weighs 300 pounds. Like, how is that happening?
That was ugly.
But
I feel like all our players. Oh, what you say, Ryan?
This U of H team just took all those shots, kept their calm, just kept feeding it inside, especially early in the game. They didn't try to match 3-pointer for 3-pointer because they're going to lose that. They're just never going to keep up.
But I think we did. It was like I think they might have made 11 and we made 10. So it was kind of.
You did overall, but I'm talking early in the game. You weren't trying to. You saw them hit one, bank one, and you weren't trying to go and match that in the moment.
Yeah, I just feel
think
like
they would have done that a couple weeks ago
possibly. At Iowa State.
Yeah. That would have been a tough first road game to have. If we played BYU. That would have been tough. Very
Well,
tough.
Iowa State was a really hard situation. This, I think, their style, you'd have gotten beaten,
That's
and
yeah,
they've gotten
the
beaten
style.
easily.
But it's just like I feel like I just feel like they weren't gonna beat us with the 3-point shot because obviously if we're able to see that they're a good 3-point shooting team, it's like what do you think they're showing our guys on film? So I remember hearing like it was through various parts of the game. I can hear Coach Sam. I can hear him roaring, "No threes, no threes," and it's just like that's just the key. You got to make it. You're not gonna stop them from getting 3-point shots off. He used to always say that, but he was like, you can make it a difficult shot to make, and you just got to contest and just try to not foul while you're contesting.
Got a good.
I was sitting way up there.
Yeah.
And I heard every word Kelvin Sampson was saying with
We were able
18,000
to hear
people in
it
the
too on
screen.
the. We were able to hear it on the broadcast
hear him
too.
like I could just hear him. God damn it, Galen! Like, no threes.
I think he yelled your name 3 or 4 times.
God damn it, Galen! Like shit, but just no threes, and you just like damn, no threes, no threes. Like
I've always wondered.
I was super. You said what?
I've always wondered as a player being coached by him when, as you're coming down the floor and he's just screaming at you, like, what do you do? Do you look at him? Do you just you listen, but you're just keeping going, or what are you trying to do?
By the time game time comes, the first game of the season, you're used to his voice, but you're gonna listen to it, and it's just like he's just trying to emphasize what the other team is gonna do, and obviously by you having watched film that he's prepared, you know what they're gonna do too. You know, and it was several times where I even heard him yelling out a pick and roll coverage, and I'm just like, damn, coach, that ain't your job. Like, what are you doing? like you know what I'm saying? Like, just but hats off to him. He's just so locked in, so engaged, trying to do whatever he can to help our guys in such a ridiculous environment. But like I said, I like our team when we're on the road because I know how engaged and locked in we are, and I know how, and that goes from the head coach to the managers. I know how locked in everybody is to the task at hand.
Shout out Jonathan Laredo.
What did he do?
He said from the coach to the managers. The team is locked in.
I wasn't listening.
And Matthew Criswell.
Yeah, there's a
Shout
lot
out
of
Matt,
good guys.
man. Shout out Matt.
Yeah. Starting to miss being bored by these 40-point wins. I'm a nervous freaking wreck during these road games. Yeah. I think you're not alone, Dave Wheat.
Yeah. Shout out Dave.
I don't know what this means, but yes, WTF. So here's the thing. On ESPN Plus, it's local announcers. Just like at U of H, you get Reed,
Jamie said it wasn't.
It was Roxy Bernstein and then Coach K's son-in-law.
Well, they kept saying we, right? So it was kind of a rooting.
The halftime show they did, but during the game.
I think the we was we honkies.
It's not allowed. These people have been fantastic. Everybody is great. This has been a hoot. The whole. I mean, just both times I've come here. Towns and I came here 9/11 in 2014. Total blast. This has been a total blast. These people are great, and they are the fittest people I've ever seen. I drove around Provo for a long time today, just trying to look, see what they got. And it's cold. It's in the 40s. People are out running. Like, what's wrong with you people? They're all fit. They're all thin. It's like, but the weird thing, and Towns will back me up on this, all they eat are sweets.
Yeah.
Pastries.
Yeah.
The biggest thing at BYU is called a cougar tail. And that's not sexual. That's one of their, this is a cougar tail. And this thing is like 18 inches long.
Yeah.
Yo.
I mean, this thing is massive.
Yo.
And they just.
Yo, that's crazy. Get that off my screen.
It looks delicious.
Hey, yo.
If you notice, it's white on the inside.
Whoa.
But so they're all eating that. And then when we were for the football game, I did not see it tonight, but I'm guessing it's still true. There was no caffeinated drinks, but you could get like 4 different kinds of milk
Yes.
at the concession stand.
Yeah.
And I've never seen milk at any other concession stand. And around town, I saw at least 4
weird.
people walking around with a gallon of milk. And like, you know, basketball players will have their gallon of water, but these guys have gallons of milk. They're just walking around.
I remember we went to BYU. I think it was me, Landon, Chris Harris, I think Armani Brooks, and Breon Brady. We had went to this little ice cream shop around the corner, and like obviously we knew
They're
about
everywhere.
I'm saying, but we just knew about BYU and you know the what that area of the world, like the region, what they practice and believe and whatnot. So
Yeah.
there were 2 girls who ran the little shop or whatever, right? So we were just talking to them. We were just like, "What do y'all do like on like you know just a Friday night, a weekend or something?" And they were like, "Oh, just play cards, do puzzles," and we're just like, "Damn, like y'all don't be like drinking and stuff, and you know y'all don't whatever." And then they were like, "No, because the real you is when when you don't have booze." And I was just like, well, "Shit, little do you know, the real you is when you got that drink up in you."
When that filter's gone.
Yeah, when that filter gone. But I was just like, I just remember thinking, I remember we all left that little ice cream place or whatever. We were just like, yeah, that shit was weird. Like, wow. What a college experience. Puzzles and card games on a Friday night, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
What puzzles do you think? I mean, what card games? I mean, you think,
Brother, we didn't get no details. When we heard that, we were just like, we all looked at each other like, are y'all hearing this shit too? Like,
Bridge.
yeah, that shit was weird. Maybe Uno.
Slapjack.
Pick your head up, Ryan. Goddamn.
Strip poker? Probably not. Probably not. So this is one of the things Kelvin said that people heard on the broadcast. When Emmanuel fouled the 3-point shooter, he came over and got his medicine. And
that's why it's so
Kelvin,
hard to win on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not putting that one up there. We're not putting that one up there. Okay, we're not putting that one up there anymore. We are not making fun of anybody's religion. I think they're great. I think it's awesome.
I think one of the most interesting thing about the
Ryan,
BYU
get that
folks
shit off the screen, brother.
is they're very innocent when you talk to them. You know, the pure wonder in their eyes and just the world. Like we had a guy come in for a recruiting visit one time, and he was a Mormon guy. So we took him out around the town. He's like, "No, I'm not going to drink, but I'll do everything else." This guy was just in amazement of everything that Houston was. He's like, "Wow, this place is unreal. Golly gee, this place is so cool." Because I would probably get in trouble if I come here.
So, Galen, do you remember the student section here? First off, student section, phenomenal.
Crazy.
They had this place packed out 75 minutes before the game started. But when U of H was being introduced, they all scream at the player, "Hi, Galen. Hi, Juwan." That's all they're doing. They're not booing. They're not doing anything. They're just, "Hey, Jamal."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's got to mess with your head. Like, you're not supposed to be that nice.
It was
like
definitely yeah, for sure. It was definitely like it was definitely a great environment, and it in a weird way it made you just want to make them just shut the hell up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's it kind of puts you in that mindset because you just see so obviously so many people against you. I remember like just I'm taking the ball out, we're running 25 and just hearing crazy shit being yelled at me, like it's crazy. But it's just like people don't even know that those types of things are what make people like go harder, you know. And I think what was the guy's name? Nell, he had hit a 3. I think it tied the game. and I think a timeout or something may have been called or whatever.
Yeah.
And after we had came back from the timeout, he was like trying to like eye down the bench, and I'm just like, bro, stop trying to act hard. That's not you. That's not you. And like, I'm glad you lost tonight. I'm glad you fouled out. Go sit down. But that's what makes college basketball fun, man. Just the shit talking, the energy, the ego, man. Everything about it, man. It's enjoyable.
like,
So what they were yelling, what they were yelling.
Put on your helmet, your backpack, and get on down the road.
Yeah,
They
left, right.
They were yelling, "I do not agree with that call, sir. Please reevaluate that." And it was really kind of odd. Why does U of H not go hard against opposing players in foul trouble, trying to get them to foul out?
I mean, it's a game plan. You don't want to like try to force an issue. Obviously, if it's a matchup that's favorable by one of our veteran guys, then that might be different. But if it's, like let's say if it's a PG or something, you kind of don't want to just try to just make him like, let's say it's Jamal who the guy's guarding. You don't want to just try to just make Jamal attack and try to get it because that'll get us out of the flow. So you kind of want to make it happen organically because they probably got in foul trouble organically. So you kind of want to keep everything organic and just kind of let things happen throughout the flow of the game.
Okay. U of H student session could learn a lot from those guys. They really could. This is a whole different environment. They get a lot more seats. And, I mean, they have basically the entire end zone. And, it's a big arena. It's 19,000 seats.
And I feel like their placement is good, too. Like, they're behind like, damn. I was like, yeah, fuck.
And it's close. It's closest to the U of H bench, which means that's what the players see when they're shooting free throws in the second half. And I thought they were fantastic. They were great when we were here for football. The dancing, but you can't have everything.
Yeah, can't have it all.
Yeah,
God made us all perfect, man.
Yeah. We need some of those inflatable tube men.
They got like those things that you spin that kind of look like a little vortex. So we need some of them shits.
Yeah, they had I think 2 or 3 of them, and they were but they had all kinds of stuff going on up there.
Yeah, but I just feel like their placement is what makes it makes them like kind of I guess advantageous because it's right behind the glass. The glass is see through. Is like shit. The rim is kind of hard to look at. Like. Man.
I'm not gonna. So, here's the thing. Right behind the baseline, there is 6 or 8 feet, and there's no more room in this. It's students. So even the cheerleaders don't stay on the floor. They run back up in the stands after they do their cheers during timeouts. So I mean, there's no room, and those students are right on top of you.
That is an elite collegiate atmosphere.
It really is great.
Elite.
I mean, I'm really happy I came. Go ahead.
What road environment was it like toughest to shoot free throws in? What student section screwed you up the most? Was it BYU?
Shit, I don't remember. I do remember like SMU being like super hard to play at because it's a small arena and it's like I feel like it's more vertical. That's just what first comes to mind. I vaguely remember BYU. I remember like Cincinnati being a hard place to play because their students I feel like are also kind of behind the rim, and when you're shooting free throws and whatnot. But I don't really remember like the us shooting free throws at BYU.
That was Cincinnati's a very good environment. Really great place.
Elite. Memphis too. Like Memphis was crazy. God damn. That was an elite environment. The hatred was real.
Oh yeah.
The hate to this day. To this day, it's still authentic. Mm-hmm. That is genuine hatred. Yeah.
Speaking of Memphis, last night you scored 15 points, did 6 boards. He had 4 steals, 3 assists. Your boy Len Denali had a good day. He had 20 something odd points. Y'all scored 150 or something. You don't play any damn defense in that league.
I think they scored 106, which our defensive rating was pretty elite, Ryan. But continue with your antics.
I was just saying you had a nice night, and your little
Yeah.
Memphis buddy did too.
The thing is, he doesn't claim Memphis. He claims Cincinnati. So he's
Well,
he's
then
a
that's
Cincy
even
guy.
better. Perfect.
Yeah.
He's wise.
All he and I do is talk shit to each other, like literally. But good guy. He had a great game too. It's just when you're able to get out of the collegiate, I guess competition and into the professional ranks, you tend to become friends with a lot of the guys you used to hate.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and,
Being
and
teammates
another
and
thing, like I had the privilege of playing with Johnny Dawkins' son when I was in Germany, and it really I meant to say this last show, but it really gave me an insight to the type of guy that Johnny Dawkins was, because his son was such a stand-up guy, and we're like still friends to this day, and it was definitely a privilege, being teammates with him for sure. My guy Aubrey, man, shout out to Johnny Dawkins.
How many shout-outs have we had tonight? I haven't been counting.
Not many.
Yeah,
They're all necessary.
That's right.
all necessary. I mean, you never have an unnecessary shout-out. So I did a little exploring today. I got down on the the baseball
Damn.
field,
I forgot
and
about
that was right at dusk. It looks right out into the mountains there where the
That's an
Y
elite-
is, but
That's an elite flick.
That's not
Yeah.
a terrible backdrop.
Not a terrible one at all, man. Not a
and
terrible
so
one at all.
they
That's a
just had
great
the
pick, Ryan.
baseball stadium open, and it was like, oh, here, walk onto the field. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's pretty easy. So we'll go do that. But everything was great. Pre-game tailgates, pre-game show at OU.
At OU, damn.
Yeah, for Kelvin's big going back,
Ah.
Kellen, Quanis,
We're just
Hollis,
going to
Lauren.
Norman. Ugh.
Well,
Yeah,
that's not very nice.
it's the
Those
truth,
people are
brother.
delightful
Yeah,
too.
It's the truth.
Maybe going there as well.
When is
You?
that?
Yeah,
Early
because
March.
that would be our exchange potentially for not being able to go to Kansas.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Poor Starns was going to go to Kansas, and then he
I
got
was
yanked out from under him.
I was so excited.
That's gonna
What'd
be
you do to
a-
lose that?
That's gonna be a jungle.
There's it's business, financial stuff with the people we work for that we have to deal with.
Make your money, bro. Make your
Because
money.
we go to Kansas City already for the Big 12 tournament, and they said, choose one.
Do they have it in Kansas City every year?
Yeah.
How fit?
But, well, hey, they sell it out. It's a great environment, and it's an easy city to fly into. I don't have any problem. I mean, it's, the American had it at UConn forever, and then had it at Memphis forever.
Memphis.
And
I like Memphis.
you have a problem
It's a
with
nice city.
Kansas City,
I
which
like-
is a
I like
neutral
Memphis as a
city,
city.
but you're good with
But
Memphis.
what I'm saying is just like I just like the city, man. It was cool. I liked when we went down to Bill Street and people were just motherfucking us to death. I was just like, yeah, shut up. Like I love that, I guess. My bad.
Memphis hates us.
Yeah, for sure.
Memphis hates Houston a lot.
We hate them too, though. But I think who's taking the place of Memphis is Kansas. I've never seen such a bothered group of people.
And haven't even played.
Yeah.
Man.
But 10 days from now,
oh,
we'll be there. Well, I'll be there. Sorry, Starns.
That is gonna be a hell of a game. Hell of an atmosphere. Rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Jesus Christ. Gotta love it.
I want to go so bad. So bad.
Well, you'll be at home soaking.
I think somebody messaged me and they said something, and the end of the message was hashtag rock chalk fuck y'all. Shout out to that guy. Shout out to that guy, man. Yeah, that was cool.
This sucks, and if it happens, it's terrible. Vegas
Yeah, it's terrible.
is
for
a
sure.
great
I
town,
hate Vegas.
but it's
I hate
not.
Vegas.
Well, you're an idiot, but it's a great
No.
town, but it's not the right fit for
They already
this
moved
tournament.
Media days to Vegas, right?
Right. Which, okay, fine. Who cares?
I think it's more important to have a good environment. I don't think you're going to get that in Vegas because you're going to have fewer people.
Too much stuff to get
travel
lost
that.
into. Yeah.
Well, no one's traveling to Vegas for 5 or 6 days. You
Yeah.
can go to Kansas City because there's nothing else for you to focus your time on. You go to Vegas, you can.
I've spent a week in Vegas one time, and it was 5 days too long. Once you get over 3, it's over.
Brother, I was in Vegas for like 20 days in a row. I don't ever want to go back. I don't ever want to go back, ever.
No.
My nose, my nose was burning out there. That dry ass heat.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
Making sure it was the heat. not doing Vegas things.
That's a good one. No, brother, it was for sure the heat. For sure the heat.
I know what you're talking about, man. That's
dry heat is crazy.
It's really a legit oven. It's a legit oven.
We were talking about the weather in Vegas. Kansas has to come to U of H. Texas has to come to U of H. You have to go to both of those places. That is fantastic. You're going to have to play 2 teams hard in a row all the time in this league. Texas is not that top tier kind of team. Kansas is. Going to Texas
honestly,
next week.
I don't think Kansas is either. I don't feel like they have the depth. Like
I
they
think
struggle with their depth production for sure.
If you put a top 10 or
Especially
top 12 nationally in a list, they have to be on it. Now, there's going to be days where they get their ass beat. Well, think about, because there's just not, after you get past 5, 6, 7, there's really not a ton of elite teams.
Where would we be ranked if we lost to UCF in West Virginia?
Well, you're right. But U of H is number 4, having lost 2 games in a row.
But you lost to arguably 2 ranked opponents. Like that's a bit different. It's not the same. Like that's apples and oranges. Like Iowa State and West Virginia and TCU and UCF. I mean, shit.
I don't think you're going to get penalized for losing on the road in this. No matter who you lose
teams,
to.
at least.
Everybody has proven that they are rough at home. I mean, West Virginia they beat Kansas, and then UCF beat Kansas. So supposedly the best team in the league struggles to go into the worst teams in the league.
That's probably something you probably never thought you'd hear yourself say.
Yeah.
UCF beat Kansas. Jesus Christ.
Sitting next to me in the press box today was Ken Palm, who lives in Salt Lake City.
Wow.
Sitting right next to me.
Are y'all BFFs?
No.
No, just like I remember Coach
he's not a talker.
saying, but yeah, what does he even look like?
He's a white guy.
Yeah, that says
he's
says
just an average skinny white guy.
Looks like Ryan with a calculator.
He actually kind of looks like my dad is what he looks like. No, he looks like a guy that makes a lot more money off his website than I do. That's what he looks like. But he lives here or in Salt Lake and was at the game, and they just put us next to each other. And what's up, Ken Palm? Get you some cougar tail while you're here.
There's nothing that you should be rocking.
GoCoogs
on game day.
Yeah, with a different
vowel.
I feel like it's so ugly to spell Cougs Cougs.
It looks weird.
Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah.
Maybe they
think our shit looks weird.
Well, they do.
But I think their shit looks weird. Like
theirs is at least spelled correctly.
Theirs is GoCoogs.
But it's a nickname. Nicknames aren't really, you know what I'm saying? It's an exception to the rule.
I went to high school at Cinco Ranch, and they were the Cinco Ranch Cougars, and I think it was COU. So I guess U of H is an outlier. I don't know.
Very much so.
We're them guys. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
No bias
it doesn't matter what Ken thinks. If you use the algorithm loves what U of H does. It really pisses a lot of people off. And you've seen it in the last week or two online. I get a lot of comments.
What was that you were responding to?
I didn't respond to anything. But people get really offended because U of H, Kelvin and you can say everything nice about Kelvin, but what he really understands is scheduling. And he looks for schools that are going to win their league, that are going to play other good teams, so that whatever they do, it's gonna keep piling up for you. Like Dayton, you would never think Dayton was one of those big, great wins, but Dayton is a really good
Top
win.
25 team.
A&M has turned out to be a pretty good win.
Utah has been a good win.
Utah, another one. Utah beat this team.
Beat this team,
in Salt Lake. But yeah,
I remember my freshman year, Coach Simp. He had. That's how I know his name. He brought it. We had a film session, and he told us about a guy named Ken Pomeroy, and some shit was called Ken Palm. Obviously, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. But he gave each of us a sheet, and like every week he gave us a sheet, and it was just like whatever the math and shit that he does. And he was like, guys, for us to be good, we have to get good at this. Like I remember that being said, and it was like for us to go from where we were, and I think we were like in the hundreds, and I think now we're one or top 5 at least.
No, you've been number 1 for 2 straight years.
I just confused the Kim Palm shit with the net shit with the it's so
well, you're number 1 in that one too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but it's just like to go from where we were, and I was like, damn, I thought we played hard. To like, damn, that just. The growth that our program has had due to our leadership, man, is tremendous. TJ Hawes, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
And he was like 26 in college. Grow
up. He's on Social Security now.
Analytics, their love of analytics and the particular type, I just want to know more all the time. It's so interesting. You mentioned the off schedule points. I've never heard of that before.
You've never heard of what?
The off schedule.
You've never heard him talk about that? Unscripted is what they call it.
Unscripted, yeah. Unscripted.
Like scheduling?
Something about I remember you told me about deflections. They expect to get 90% of deflections.
Yep. Like 30 tips a game.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah. We're gonna have something on a new analytic, a new thing that they're doing. They haven't really sunk their teeth into it, but something pretty cool, new technology. I noticed it about 2 weeks ago and have been asking everybody questions and, starting to get answers. Yeah, there's your guy. I mean, that who farted face that is just, it seems like it's always what he's got. Yep. He was on the halftime show.
That's why people don't understand upsets when it comes to March. Because you got, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you got a team like Ohio State versus a team like fucking Bucknell. Ohio State probably won 20 games, lost probably double-digit games, and that Bucknell team probably won close to 30 games and might have lost one league game. It's like that's a team that if you might not know their name, but they're accustomed to winning. They have a winning culture, they have a winning identity. And it's just like to guys who don't watch the game nor understand it, they don't know how hard it is to win a game. And it's like Coach Sampson, he does. So I feel like that's what has also helped our team is his understanding of identifying a good team, even though they might not be a household name.
Right.
Well,
it's like
you
like
were that team.
Non-conference scheduling.
You were that team
State
against
too.
Ohio State. Well, y'all did it against Ohio State, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. We might have been the favorites to win that.
Bucknell, but Houston, the brand was nowhere near where.
Yeah. Nowhere near Ohio State. Yeah,
and
paled in comparison
to the nation. It was a whoa.
Yeah.
But obviously, y'all had gotten accustomed to winning, and
I'm
once you get in this situation,
Ohio State's coach probably had to talk them up. Like, you guys can beat this team. Whereas, like Coach Samp, he was like, "We're gonna win this game." Like, it was like a different type of. The world might have known, but we did. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all don't believe it, it's not going to happen. And so, but I think that winning teams, they're accustomed to win. They get in that situation enough.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
pull out enough of those wins that they know how to do it. Doesn't matter what the other team, their names are, or who's on the, you know how to win.
I just don't think that like his message was like convincing. It's like we expect to win. Like who's going to be after these guys? You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like, oh guys, like it wasn't like a pep talk. It was like, this is like we're playing Tulane. We're going to win this game. We expect to win this game. It's not going to be a shock if we win this game. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
I'd like to see Coach Sampson get some dogs that are 6'11". Maybe.
Hard to find, brother, but they ain't gonna fit.
But yeah, I mean, when you have a guy with a 75-inch wingspan or 7'5" wingspan, sorry, that neutralizes a lot of 6'11" guys.
But like, if
you get a guy like that's going to be 6'11", you got to get a guy, somebody like Kevin Durant, somebody who can play and move on the perimeter.
That's a good idea, Brad. Kevin Durant.
Get Kevin Durant.
No, but what I'm talking about, you got to get guys
not a traditional big.
Yeah. I mean, no offense, but like a Hunter Dixon isn't going to fit here. He's going to fit in a lot of different places, but he won't be productive in doing what we do.
I just don't feel like, I just don't feel like, that I don't feel like that really translates here. Granted, there are exceptions to every rule. Granted, Josh Carlton, he was 6'10", had a tremendous impact, but I felt like he also had a unique skill set, and he also had a unique mindset. He was bought into whatever we needed him to do, and that's what helped our team. But I don't feel like for any regular 6'11" guy that they're going to have the same impact as him if we just picked him up off the side of the street. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They have a 6'11" guy on the roster. I mean, pointed out by a commenter, Jacob McFarland, but he's long, and I mean, from the little we've seen, he moves pretty well.
Yeah.
So
definitely mobile, but like he just needs to grow up a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's gained 40 pounds since he's been here. Maybe 45 now. And
Ryan, he came in weighing 140. Shit. So
no,
he's a little smaller than me. Like he was, man, I remember seeing him his first. He was little.
I saw it. And I mean,
shit. But
I actually fed him out of my hands. I was like, take this food. Please, just eat. But he's added some weight and some size. Yeah. And Josh Carlton, man, I think I talked to Starns about this last week or somebody.
Yeah. It was
what you would have given for one more year with that guy. One more year. You get that guy for that second year. You could have won it all. I mean, you could have gone and won it all.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, he was criminally underused in UConn. I mean, embarrassing. Like, they pretty much put him on the bench at the end of his career there. He was playing 2, 3, 4 minutes.
And the crazy part about it is, like, we played UConn a couple of times that year, at least my senior year. And obviously we doubled the post, and he was still able to put up good numbers through that. And I remember, like, our coaches, that whenever we used to watch film and talk about him, they were always super high on him. Like, this guy can hurt us. Like, we got to be, like, they understood his skill set and how impactful he can be to them winning a game.
Right.
That's a pretty good recruiting strategy. Uh-oh. This guy could hurt us. Let's go get him.
Shit, it don't hurt. No, it didn't.
People don't stress how hard it is to win. Ryan, will you? I like this thing that I've kind of built here. Would like to keep this thing that I've kind of built here. That's one way to go.
Time out. Let's talk about how hypocritical that was, though.
Please.
I mean, I thought this would be a group effort. You can get the camera off me, brother. We expect to win. We're UT. We don't celebrate like we win a national championship in the next game.
Oh,
my boy jumping up and down like a goddamn who knows what. And I'm just like, is this the same guy that said that they expect to win? And it's that's a bit inconsistent, but hey, let me mind my business.
Hey, you know, I give credit to Johnny Dawkins for not lighting him up or say, hey, look, you don't talk to my fucking players.
Yeah, really though.
Go handle your own.
Yeah, but
Take that L.
Johnny's a classy dude, man.
But
Classy dude.
he had
Classy
every
dude.
right to do that.
Every right. Classy.
You don't
dude,
talk
man.
to my guys. Nate Oates, you don't touch my guys. You handle yourself, and I'll
But it
handle
would
my
be
guys.
no surprise to me if he said that behind closed doors, though.
True.
Maybe.
You know,
Yeah.
no surprise to me. Not at all.
And I hope he went like this when he did it. Keep yourself over there. The future is bright for sure. Yep. Number 4 in the country. Win a big road game. Number 1 in the net. Number 1 in Kim Pom. Things are pretty good. Things are going.
It'll do.
Every time. Well, he goes down every game. I mean, Jawan is playing some hard minutes, and
He's getting some bad breaks too.
He absolutely is
getting some bad breaks, man.
But I mean, you know, his knees are black and blue, like it's just rough looking. And we talked with John Houston earlier this week, and when we were not on camera, I kind of asked about it, and he's like, I mean, he's just taking a pounding. He's just,
Yeah.
you know, you can't schedule that. You can't figure out what to do. He's taking a pounding.
I'm sure he's probably living in the training room.
Yeah.
Like I remember, Coach Sam used to let me get out of practice to go like ice my feet and get stem treatment just because like I had to have surgery on both of them. Like I'm sure he's probably just trying to get as pain free as he can before the next game.
Tell me about stem treatment.
Honestly, I can only tell you it works. You get it up to a level that like stings enough to where it's like you can tolerate it and it stays on for 10 minutes. And John Houston, he'll either put ice or heat on it depending on what he thinks that you need. But it works miracles, man. Works miracles. I think John Houston, he was also a trainer for my dad when he played. And I think he's one of the best trainers probably ever, man. That guy is. I still haven't gotten a tape job that's as good as what he used to give me. It's pure professional, pure class, one of the best in the business for sure.
I used to love the ritual of going in, getting taped up, and then coming back and going through the rehab after the game.
Man.
I just used to love that ritual because it puts you in a frame of mind, and it's so relaxing.
Man, JH, I think I might have got my feet taped this summer, and I wasn't even doing shit just to feel how the tape felt again. Like it's like a hug, man. Yeah. That guy's elite at his job for sure.
That guy gives the best tape jobs. It's just one of the weirdest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Come on, bro. Have some decency. Have some decency.
I have some
decency,
decorum. Galen. I have decency, buddy. That was for you, Jeb. Yeah.
Shout out to my motherfucking guy, Ryan, man. This is some cool shit, bro. I know I might say this every show, but this is some cool shit. This is some cool. I really mean it.
You got to remind the people, though. That's what you got to do.
This is
we can appreciate
the 5-4-3, 2 Sampsons, and then 1 Jamal. Like that's some cool shit.
Yeah.
Hats off, man. Hats off.
Oh, you're done.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just gonna let you do your thing. This is off the wall, but I'm kind of interested. Do you know any players that are vegan? I've never seen any player refuse meat, but I mean,
pause.
It's got to be some. Okay, time out.
You know.
Time out.
I think like one of my teammates, he's from Alabama, 6'10", 6'11", about 260, pure muscle, homegrown black dude. He tried to go vegan on the 3rd day. He threw the towel. He went to go get some fried chicken, man. It's a hard lifestyle to do when you're young and need to eat a lot of shit, but hats off to those who can do it.
Yeah, the fried chicken is what would get me off that wagon. I apologize. to anybody that I offended with their meat.
Arrest this guy.
Galen, where are you in Milwaukee?
We're in fucking Oshkosh.
Well, okay, you're in
My gosh.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
You're in a hotel room?
absolutely.
You don't see a lot of hotel rooms that have a point, unless I just got a weird angle.
Yeah, no, this is a point. I thought that was unique too, but then again, we're in Oshkosh, and so it's a lot of different shit out here. But yeah, pretty nice sized hotel room too, though.
Do that again, Starns. That was kind of creepy.
No, I was looking at a comment.
You see,
Oh,
like
okay.
you can see the point.
Nope, not adding that one.
Oh, so you can see them all, Ryan?
Yeah.
Damn. What goes in the criteria of Trey Jemison? Absolutely, that's my dog. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Future opponent, Kansas State versus Iowa State. Kansas State, I think that game is the biggest trap game in basketball history. Everybody's eyes are going to be looking at Monday night at 8 o'clock. All
one
eyes
thing-
need to be on Kansas State.
One thing that I saw that BYU did, that UCF did, that kind of disrupted the flow of our offense was kind of like a 3/4 court tempo press.
Yeah.
And I thought our guys handled it well, but I
Well,
think
they've been
that's an
seeing it a lot
important-
more, right?
Yeah, but I just remember saying like that is something that like if UCF, like I thought UCF would probably do that the next time they played us, but clearly BYU, their coaching staff did a good job of watching that film from start to finish, and that's probably something they implemented. I don't know their system or whatever, but I thought that's something that I thought that was a unique look that they gave us, that it was kind of unsmooth.
Unsmooth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of stuff you got from Charleston against
Mm.
Towson, against Utah, against Dayton. That was sort of the first time you saw it. That was another thing about Kelvin Sampson's scheduling. That was, I think,
Different
big.
looks.
No, you will see, Kelvin, the scheduling in the preseason is to get you ready for X game.
Yeah.
There was whoever they played it before A&M was the exact opponent you needed to play before A&M, and I'm totally blanking.
Was it Jackson State?
I don't know.
I actually have it. Right here.
Here's a question:
it was
Should U of H? Okay,
And Rice.
should U of H retire Marcus's number? Well, I don't care about the Bucks coach getting fired, but
They won
No.
that game.
he should not have his number retired. I think you've got to do something unprecedented, like Elvin Hayes, the three guys from Phi Slamma Jamma, Marco Young, Akeem, and Drexler, and then Otis Birdsong. I mean, those are to add another name to that.
Yeah,
It has to be
that's
a
the
no
criteria.
doubter. Yeah, it just has to be a no doubter. And I mean, here's the thing: if Jamal takes this team to the Final Four, to the championship game, do you retire his? Maybe. But, and if this team were to go and win the title, you retire everybody. They all, but you retire as a collective, not as an individual number.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can do that. And it's just, I think that standard has to be so high.
Right.
You've only retired two numbers in football, Wilson Whitley and Andre Ware. And that's exactly what it should be. And in baseball, Towns, did they retire your number? Not yet.
They might
Okay.
as well, because nobody else has had it.
No one has ever worn 50. He's the only 50 in U of H baseball history. There was a guy in the fall who wore that number, and Towns got really nervous But then he ejected.
Normally if you get
nervous.
normally if you have to wear 50, that means you're probably going to be asked to leave. But that's how bad we were back then. Is that 50? Even though you suck, you're not the worst on the team.
Well, if they do it the right way, it should only be for really fat guys. Like it's just a really big jersey,
a heavy number.
Yeah, they just have they only buy 50s in like 5X.
You got to have enough width to carry that number on your back.
It's true.
You got to be wide.
True.
You can't have a fat guy like me wearing 1.
No, that would be awful.
LOL.
First number out of the has to be 25. Well, you're gonna get a little bit of,
I don't think I should have my number retired.
I don't think you should either. And I say that as
not too much
an admirer, but I do. But I think you should be in the Hall of Honor.
But it's like
but you should not have your number retired.
Yeah, did not do enough. Yeah.
But no one has done enough in 40 years.
Right. I mean, you're talking about guys who were walking into the Hall of Fame. I mean, you're talking about
NBA Hall of Fame. Yeah,
the greatest to ever play the game.
Yeah, play it again. Yeah.
You might be right, Diego. They did something. I don't know if it's retired, but no one's ever going to wear it again. They kept giving it out.
Honored.
After Klingler and after I don't think they gave it out after Keenum, but I'm not 100% on that. Hey, Towns, prediction for Cougar baseball this year. Okay, good talk. Good talk.
You never know. It's. I'm not expecting much.
I know, and it's not going to be good.
Damn.
Are we going to continue this post-game show for every Cougar baseball game?
What the fuck is wrong with you? This one's for you, buddy.
I'm just trying to get paid. That's all.
Nice turd.
You can't say nice turd on the internet, Galen.
He said this was for you, Cougar Tail. Oh shit.
So we've never done this. We're gonna try it. Subscribe on YouTube. Just go subscribe. It's at GoCoogs. It's pretty easy to remember. Just go subscribe.
And also click the bell so you get the notification when we're going live.
You feel me?
I don't know what that means, but yeah, do that.
Ryan doesn't even know what YouTube is.
I swear to you, until we started doing things on YouTube, I never watched it. And now I don't know what I do with my time, but it's not TV. It's just, I don't do anything like that.
Sounds smart, man.
I read a lot. There you go. I'm a genius. GoCoogs.com. The content is out of control, y'all. We have so much happening. It's hard to keep it all straight. We're doing 20 pieces of content a week. No one's coming close. And some of it is pretty good, like this show. I don't know what y'all were like before I got on, but it's been pretty good since.
And if you're a subscriber, you don't have to be a heathen and you can use dark mode. You don't have to blind yourself and everybody else in the room.
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
People who have looked at web pages understand.
What is this guy's? Yeah, get that.
You don't know neck? So last week the Mariachi Pumas were the U of H game, and I suggested to Lauren Sampson that we teach them how to play neck, and I think that would be the perfect version of neck.
Yes, that would have been fantastic.
That would be great, and so we're going to make that happen. All right, we're getting out of here. This is too much. Final thoughts, Starns.
This is a massive road win that
massive.
I think you really sort of exercise your demons from the first road games, and it's just a huge win, and it's a great one to get right before this stretch of 3 games in I think 7 days that you have, 2 and 3. That is going to be pretty brutal. with
Yeah.
Kansas State at home, Texas, less than 48 hours or a little over 48 hours later, and then Kansas on the road. This is the one that you could get, and we talked about this before, Ryan, but you got 3 road games. I said you win 1, you're happy. You said you win 2. You win 1 right now. Now, if you win
I
one
think
of
you
those
need to
road
pick
games,
one more up.
you pick one
If
more
you
up,
pick
and you
one
got to
more
be
up,
really happy with where you're at. If you also take care of Kansas State as well.
Galen.
I thought tonight was a good team win. The guys who we needed to step up, stepped up, and the guys that we needed to be themselves were themselves. Thought we did a good job with our attention to detail, minus a few hiccups, but for the most part, it was a good confidence-building team win. Our first one in the Big 12, top 25 road win, and it's a tremendous confidence booster going forward.
Good looking Galen. All right, Brad.
I would say that is a huge character win, and it's an amazing job for them to take a game that was spiraling out of control and stepping up big and knocking down free throws and going ahead and closing this thing out. And that's pretty much it.
Do you really think it was spiraling out of control? I
Yeah.
thought they had lost
They
the
were
mojo,
reeling.
but I don't know if it was that bad. I mean,
coulda
this
got
place got
ugly.
loud.
Hey,
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, they
definitely could have got
were
ugly.
3 or 4 15 coming down the stretch, and then they turned it over back-to-back times.
Back-to-back times.
Then the game got tied up. So it was. I mean,
Okay,
it was literally.
that's fair.
It was on the verge of disaster, and then 2 big free throws, and then 2 more big free throws, and then big rebounds.
I can't disagree.
When it was headed to the fire, they pulled it out, clutched it up, and then got on the bus and got out of town.
And I would say that I was most impressed with the way U of H stuck with it early on. They didn't try to do something they're not comfortable doing. They stuck with the plan. They were methodical, and they just kept BYU kind of at arm's length. They weren't quite letting them in. And every time BYU would make a little run, U of H had that basket to silence the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'd start getting up, and then LJ knocks one down.
Yeah.
And so you just really have to be impressed.
Oh,
Bye-bye. So this
bad.
was just a difficult situation, the environment, the style of offense that BYU plays. But you had things come together, and when you needed it, you had a senior leader in Jamal Shed that just puts this team on his back in so many different ways. He went down here and guarded the hell out of the ball on this end, makes those 2 free throws. I mean, the guy's money. You see what happens to guys in the 4th year when they're in this program. You look completely lost, and it's a little better, and then they start to depend on you, and then it's your team.
Yeah.
And, you know, Galen, you went through that a little bit of that growth, and then it became yours, and Jamal is absolutely there. And there may not be another guy in the country that has the pulse and the control of his team like Jamal has on this one. I mean, it just might be, he might be the number 1 guy. And I do not get into most of these rabbit holes. I have started, and it's horrible, and I try to stay away from it. You want to talk about, never mind, I'm not even going to go there.
Damn.
Galen doesn't know how to use the internet. He invented For the City. They sure as hell took that. Yeah.
My contribution.
I'm going to be honest with you. That sounds really low.
Facts.
That sounds really low.
That looks like 1,000.
Like
1,500.
There was
Sweet. That means I can have 4.
when they started putting the calories on menus.
Fuck no.
I ended up.
didn't say I'm trying to avoid diabetes, but hey, I'll eat pork.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's going to be it. I don't even know what the hell is happening. We've been on this for 95 minutes. Look at us.
Who is
And the
we?
crowd has, well, y'all have. I've been here for, 20, and it's been fine. But thank you so much. GoCoogs.com, OneSubstantial.com, DailyCougar.com, and Pornhub for the other guy. So thank y'all so much for watching. Sorry, Starns' mom. I really enjoyed meeting Starns' mom last week, but sorry about that. Sorry about everything. No sexual content.
Definitely do not search Khalifa on that one.
Thank you. Thanks to Galen. You were my 500th follower a couple weeks ago.
You feel me? Shout out my boy
Galen.
Starns, man, with the plural
Shout out
name.
to Galen.
Shout out my boy Starns with the plural name. Fuck.
Towns, you had Bragg, Stockton, and then Rayner.
Bragg Stockton
Were
and
your
Mike
coaches?
Gardner, then Rayner and Tim Peters was the pitching coach.
Okay. There you go.
Rayner's first year.
Rayner's first year. Before the good and way before the ugly. So,
He had
all
he had to get rid of people like me before he could actually have success.
right.
Damn.
Dustin Carr needed better players. Joffrey Tomlinson needed better players than you.
Yes, that's my favorite player of all time. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Well, not a
Great
kid
show.
anymore.
Great win.
Shout out
You're in
Jamie,
your 50s,
man.
son.
Fuck.
Shout out Jamie. You know who we did not see? We didn't see Gwen
who?
tonight.
You didn't see Gwen?
No, she came.
Damn,
She came.
no
She
foul.
said hello as soon as you walked in.
Oh, okay. So I went looking. So they've got the big Y right on the side of the mountain, and I went looking for it. But because everything's covered in snow, you couldn't see it. Because we were gonna have our sometimes Y,
Yeah,
and
sometimes.
they got the sometimes Y.
Well, you got the sometimes Y right over your left shoulder.
Yeah. There you go. There's the Y. Sometimes Y. All right. This is getting dumb. We're done. Thank y'all so much. GoCoogs.com. Thanks for watching. We'll be doing this again after Kansas State and then in Austin Monday night.